It's the MD warrior. Boy, I'm built for this. Life threw me battle, but I'm still gonna win.
Welcome back to Muscular Dystrophy Warrior. Just like the last video, in every video, a moment of silence for all the fallen warriors who have lost their battle to muscular dystrophy. Sending prayers to all those families who have lost someone with muscular dystrophy. For this video, it's going to be a little bit different. You know, guys, usually I always talk about a certain topic about muscular dystrophy, but today we have a guest. She's a creator, advocate, and someone who uses her voice to challenge stereotypes around disability, independence, and identity. I'm honored to welcome Gina Schuh to Muscular Dystrophy Warrior. Gina, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. What a great intro.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I would like to start off from the very beginning, if you're comfortable sharing. Where were you originally born?
Yeah,
What you,
definitely. Yeah. So I was born in California in a small farming community. My dad was a farmer. I was actually able-bodied at the time, so I didn't have my injury until later. So
okay.
don't worry, I'll get to that. That's the
Yeah, okay.
benefits,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I grew up a great family. My parents are wonderful. I'm very blessed. I've got two older siblings that I got to torture growing up. And I played a lot of sports. I worked on the farm. I was definitely a tomboy. I did welding, wood shop, and power mechanics. So, daddy's girl. And then when I was 18, I always wanted to be a chef. I moved out to go to culinary school. I was working in a kitchen. And they asked if I wanted to go out with all of them later. And I was like, yeah. And we were young, dumb, and partying. And I dove
Yeah.
to the swimming pool and I broke my neck at 18. So I have no fine motor, no tricep use, and I'm paralyzed
Okay.
lying down. So I'm technically a quadriplegic. And even though I
Okay.
have some function, but after that, I ended up getting my bachelor's in political science, and then I got my Juris Doctor. And I used that to advocate for people with disabilities because I realized that this world is not
Yeah.
for us. So
Yeah, true, true.
yeah, so I really advocated for a lot of that, and I've done that since then. I've been married, I've been divorced, I've traveled all
Okay.
over. I've lived a life. So and
Yeah, but
I'm
it
grateful.
seems like you've basically done a lot of things in
I
a short
have.
time.
I've been
Yeah.
lucky. I've gotten to do quite a bit in my life.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to start off by what was your childhood growing up? Like I know you told me you had two older siblings, right?
Yeah. And my parents are wonderful Christian parents who, we went to church all the time. Me personally, I'm very different that way. I'm a humanist, so they're probably
Yeah.
very upset about that. No, thank
Yeah.
you very
Yeah,
much.
I know. Yeah, parents take
Um,
you to church and stuff,
but
and
yeah,
yeah, you're just different after you grow up, you know? They
yeah,
can
but
tell you anything.
it instilled a lot of really good morals in me.
Hmm.
Charity and giving back is so important to me. For doing disability events, I just hosted an event this weekend for people with spinal cord injuries and spinal cord disorders, so that people can come together and share resources, have social groups. Like we really have gotten to do some really cool events. I did a wheelchair cleaning last year and we had like 60 people show up. I really like to bring the community together, and it doesn't matter really what the disability is. I mean, if you're a wheelchair user, you get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. I get what you mean. That's why I was like looking for someone to talk about like the other side, because sometimes they confuse me with, oh, he had an accident, not muscular dystrophy. So I wanted to bring someone, like with your point of view, the other people in wheelchair, like you were saying, like it's still a wheelchair. We're all the same community, all in one.
Oh, 100%. I mean, fighting for access recently, I mean, my socials have been blowing up because I'm really trying to change the narrative for people with disabilities and the ADA lawsuits. Businesses shouldn't be upset with people with disabilities when we're forced to just sue. That's our only option. We have nothing else.
Right.
Meanwhile, government continues to provide certificates of occupancy permits with very very huge non-compliance issues, not just little things like, oh, it's an inch off, oh, the sign is too short. No, we're talking about access to bathrooms, seating,
Yes.
parking, things that actually really impact somebody's everyday life.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. Like I've been through it. Like there's places that I'm like, oh, I can't go there because it's not accessible and
The thing
stuff. Like,
is, a lot of them could have been from the beginning. You know,
yeah,
our government is failing us right now with not. Now, what if they didn't implement the fire code? Okay.
right, hmm,
They could get sued. I feel
right,
like we're on the brink of all coming together and maybe making that choice. It's time to
yeah,
really push. I want to see people rise up and fight. And who cares if people say, oh, you're suing, you're going to ruin these mom and pop shops? No, we're not. People aren't going after mom and pop shops like that.
right,
That's just to distract them from it. But those
hmm,
are my passion subjects, and obviously you can tell based on my schooling.
yeah. I went to a college as well, so I know what you mean. Like college was harder for me because it's not a lot of accessible things, you know.
Yeah,
Restroom was an issue since I needed help, and they were like, "Oh, we can provide that." I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" They did it like middle school, high school. Now you're telling me you can't? So,
yeah. That's true. I never thought about that. I remember when I first was injured and I went in and I was like, I might need help occasionally, like with draining my Foley bag. They're like, we don't do any of that. I was like, that makes sense. But it would be great if they offered something like some assistance, because a lot of people
yeah.
can afford a caregiver or they don't have assistance with a caregiver old.
Yeah. Or for me, like my mom used to help me, we lived like 15 minutes. When I was at community college, we lived 15 minutes, but 4-year university, we were like 25, 30 minutes. So my mom couldn't like go from home all the way there. And she's like, what if you don't need to go in and it's an emergency and I can't
Yeah,
get there on time?
scary. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
thinking. Mine was always like, I hope I don't shit myself in class.
I know I was like, I hope that doesn't happen, but yeah, that's a good
Well,
point. Good
I
point.
thought if it did, I'm absolutely going to fail the class because I'm never coming back.
Right. That's where I'm like, I'll still go, but just be different.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. So, but yeah, my childhood though, back to that, my childhood was wonderful. I lived a really great, very active lifestyle. I was very active. So that was a big change for me when I was a wheelchair user. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, life is so different.
Right. Yeah, I get what
in
you mean.
a blink.
Hmm. Yeah, it can change in a blink of an eye. Like you can be one day walking, the other day you using a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. And then here I am 22 years later.
Yeah. How was your school years? Let's start with elementary.
Oh, what wonderful. I grew up with a small town, so I know everybody. I still know them all. The rumors flew. It was a small town, exactly like you would think. High school was more challenging for me. I got into a lot of trouble. I was really angry, so I hated being
Hmm.
there. I had a lot of issues with the town because it's a small town and my dad was relatively successful. He also was conservative and the high school was very liberal. So there were teachers, like I went in and I had a teacher tell me like, I don't like your dad. And I'm like, okay. And sure enough, shortly later, I ended up getting transferred out of that class because I took paperwork to prove that he was grading me way less for it with correct answers. So they saw it and their answer was he didn't get reprimanded. I got demoted from AP to like regular government. So it
Yeah.
yeah, it was a school that I was happy to leave my senior year. And then my senior year was wonderful, absolutely great. And then I left after that, went out and tried to explore the world and broke my neck. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. It
know,
sounds like a tough time, high
yeah,
school.
but my therapist told me that I couldn't go to school full time. And so I was on my way to go sign up. These are my like physical and occupational therapists at the time. And my mom took me and I went to go sign up for community college a year after I had my injury. I was like, I got to get into
Hmm.
college.
Right.
And after I went in, I go sign up and I signed up for 12 classes, which is full time.
Yeah, it's a
I never
lot.
looked back, and I ended up graduating from law school, and
Hmm.
I also have my bachelor's. So I'm not a practicing attorney, so don't ask me for legal advice, people. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I've been really lucky to have a lot of opportunities in my life.
Yeah. I would like to ask, how would you describe your relation with your disability today? Did it ever like affect you like the beginning of the accident or no? 'Cause
Oh,
everybody reacts differently. That's why I'm asking. Because for me, like,
oh yeah. I think it affects everybody, but I accepted it very early on because I had I had two failed neck surgeries and they left a piece
mhm,
of my vertebrae on my spinal cord. So I had a pretty good understanding that I probably wasn't going to walk again. So I didn't live with a lot of false hope that it was going to happen. So my focus wasn't on walking, my focus was on living. And I was very adamant that I was going to live, life to the fullest. So I really did that and I have done that and I've stuck to that. But I've had my moments. I think the 10-year mark would probably be one of the hardest because that's when you start really seeing changes in your body and you're like, I'm going to be in a wheelchair forever.
mhm,
And yeah, that was a hard time. There are moments though, in every decade, every year that I've gone through this, that
mhm.
I'm sure I've loathed, my situation. But I also am not somebody that hates my wheelchair. I look at my wheelchair. His name is Martin, by the way, Martin and Gina.
Yeah.
But he's my bestie and I love him and I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful for my transportation. I'm grateful for my caregivers. Like my view is that I don't hate those things.
Mhm.
I appreciate the independence that they give me. So it's a lot about perspective.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. For me, it was like I stopped walking around 11 or 12. That's how some people with muscular dystrophy walk. And it took me a while, like you're saying, but I'm
Yeah.
grateful for, my parents are my caregivers, so I'm grateful for that. My
Uh,
doctors and all that, like you were saying. I don't think a lot of people see it like this. I'm gonna be like, oh, I hate this and
yeah.
stuff like that.
And you know what? I don't judge anyone's perspective, but I will say this, in the years that I've been injured, which is 22 years, and
Hmm.
I've been very involved in the disability community. I see physically in those who have the attitude of gratitude versus those who are so angry.
Hmm.
You
Yeah, I've met a
know,
few people like that, that they're angry and some are like living fully like me and you.
it's true. It's true. It's tough. I mean, I don't think this life is cut out for like, the faint of heart.
Hmm.
Definitely very challenging. So, and forfeit things in life, and that I think becomes taxing on someone's emotional health.
Yeah. After the accident, how did your social life change? Did it change at all or it stayed the same?
I started
Did
hanging out with a lot more cripples. No, yeah, my social circle did change. Definitely. I had just moved anyway, so it was going to. So not a big deal there. I kind of
Hmm.
anticipated it. But I had never hung out with so many disabled people.
Yeah, I get it.
I know all
That
these
was
people from
hmm.
rehab and all that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Did, yeah, did people treat you differently, like from your social circle that you already knew, or other people that you met around like that time?
No, no, not really because yeah, a little bit. I mean, some people were like, oh, a little at first, and then I'm like, don't even. They're like, ah, she
Really?
hasn't changed, she's still a bitch. But like, no, I'm still friends with people from high school to this day. That were
Hmm.
friends when I was on 2 feet, which is crazy. So uh
Yeah.
yeah, no, and it did change I was just talking about this actually, ironically, the other day.
Hmm.
I feel like one of the gifts that this injury has given me is that it transcends gender, age, sexuality, race, all of those things. And you're able to, like, it doesn't matter, societal standards where you're at, it doesn't matter. I end up having relationships with people that I probably would have never gotten to have such a wonderful relationship with had I not trauma bonded, ironically
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. I get what you mean. That's how I feel. Like there's a lot of people like if I wasn't born with muscular dystrophy, I probably wasn't gonna cross paths with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
have
that's
like
the thing, and
yeah, I
that's the
have
same with
yeah,
spinal
I
cord
have a
injuries.
yeah, I have friends that are twins. My friend is in SMA type 2 and his sister doesn't have a disability. So I probably if he wasn't like we always tell like always haven't told him like if we were both not disabled, we probably would never meet each other. I would
Yeah.
never met you guys.
Yeah, it's true. So there's like silver linings. I've got some really good girlfriends, where I'm getting together with a handful of them this Friday to celebrate one of their birthdays. And,
Mm,
we're a very tight knit, close group.
mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, what's one misconception that you get a lot? Because I get a lot, like a lot of them. I can't name one of them. So I want
Oh,
to ask
okay.
you
Yeah,
most common one you can tell me, like the most common one or the least
I would
common one.
say sexuality is probably one of the big ones. Like,
Yeah,
assuming, do you have sex or do you not? I'm like, it's really not that complicated. But
right. Yeah,
sexuality, my financial status, a lot of times people are, assume like, oh, you can't afford something. And I'm like, no, I can afford that. I'm an independent person. I might be disabled, but thank you. Like,
yeah,
but that one I've gotten a handful of times. And my education, a lot of people are very surprised when they hear the level of education I achieved after my disability. So those I would say are the ones that
yeah.
fly
I
high.
get the yeah. The first one is like once you get older, like in your 20s, 30s, 40s, the one you mentioned first. But when you're younger, it's like learning. Is he able to learn?
Oh, I think people are getting more open to the idea because there's much more like sexuality related disability content that's out there.
Yeah.
Social media has done us well with that one. I know like I paint, so that's one of my hobbies is I'm a painter and I paint erotica a lot of times and people love it. They love it. So,
Yeah,
uh,
it's art for me. Like I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's art. You're not promoting something else. It's art. They
yeah.
have it.
Oh,
Yeah,
and I mean, people don't even know I'm disabled when they buy it. Um,
right.
so
Oh,
they're
you.
buying it because it's good, not because it's a pity
Yeah,
buy.
right. No, that's good. That's another thing that I feel like a lot of times people feel like, oh, they're being pity. That's why they talk to that person.
I
That's why
mean,
they
if they
buy
were to
this
pay
stuff.
me $10,000 on a pity painting, I'm gonna take it. I
Right? Who's not gonna? I know who's not gonna take it. Like honestly, I would too.
pity me, please, pity me your buys.
Yeah, we would have been all rich right now, I think.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, yeah. If it was like that, yeah, I'm fine with it.
No, that's funny. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What motivated you to start sharing your life online? Like, what made you start doing content like on Instagram and stuff like that?
So, oh my gosh, it's funny. I just saw a message. I'm like, I gotta head out after this. That's so funny. I realized I have an event tonight. And I'm like, he said, I'm holding down the fort. And I said, oh my gosh, I didn't get it. But I'm sorry, I just saw that. But no, please repeat that question.
Yeah, what motivated you to start like sharing your life online, like making content on Instagram? That's how I found your
That's how you
Instagram
found
account.
me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I started sharing pretty early on, and I really enjoyed the interaction with people and just my story. A lot of people from my hometown wanted to know what I was doing and all of that. So,
hmm
I was very lucky in the sense that, people responded well, and I had a lot of opportunities for content to create. I remember when I was a new injury, and I didn't feel like there were a lot of people I could connect with and
hmm
that understood me. And I feel like social media is wonderful and it's great, and I just love it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like before, when I was younger, I thought it was only me struggling with the same issue. Now that I started getting more involved with the disability community, I'm like, well, there's a lot of content creators out there dealing with the same thing, and sharing it online, promoting like awareness and stuff.
No, I love it. I love seeing it. I love hearing other people's stories and understanding what they're doing and where,
Mm-hmm.
where they, you know,
Yeah,
where
what they're
they're going,
doing, you
what
know.
they're doing, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
yeah, I get.
agree with Corey Lee. I love watching his stuff. And
Yeah, same, same.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's great. I love him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hopefully someday I'll have him on my channel. Will be nice.
Wouldn't that be great? Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's a gem. I love him. Oh gosh, there it is. Can you still see me? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I can see. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you're good.
sorry.
Yeah, looking ahead, where do you see yourself in the future, personally or professionally? Like either one you can answer.
I am going to definitely be opening up a nonprofit probably in the next few months, hosting a lot more events, pushing for legislative changes, fighting government for enforcement. Like that's definitely, and that's always been my thing. That will always be my thing.
Okay, okay. Any goals you're working towards right now? I know you're telling me about the nonprofit. Like, can
Yeah.
you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it will benefit people with spinal cord injuries and spinal cord disorders in Arizona. We'll be able to work out deals to give grants and do things like that. I'm hopeful. I really want people to be able to have social groups to come together throughout the state that allow them to do resources. There will be wheelchair cleanings, there will be medical supply swip swaps, just there will be resource books, there will be things that people in the community need. And we'll open the communication with transportation, third party transportation like Uber, Lyft, all of those, and really push for inclusion. Keep an eye out on the legislation that's going through, making sure that it doesn't destroy the disabled community, those kinds of things, the things that somebody should be out there doing.
Yeah, that's a good idea to do that and stuff. Anything you want to create or change in the disability space, like anything can be something. It can be
Yeah, I
one.
want people to stop getting pissed at disabled people for filing lawsuits when really that's our only avenue. I want
Yeah,
businesses to start pointing the finger back at municipalities. Yeah, that's exactly.
yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it's like it's your guys' fault that we're suing, you know?
Yeah,
If you guys made more inclusion, accessibility, we wouldn't be, suing you guys,
it's true.
It's time for them to, accept like you guys could have prevented this, but you didn't do accessible stuff,
Exactly.
It's that simple. Like we
It's
wouldn't
that
be,
simple. It's like, why did you approve the plans? Why did you approve the plans already when you shouldn't have? That's my thing.
yeah. I see a lot of buildings or store. I'm like, wait, this shouldn't even be here. I'm like, they should remove this and stuff like that. I'm like, they should have done that from the start.
100%. The thing is, they don't implement it because oftentimes we don't sue. We just
Right. We
go
don't,
somewhere else.
yeah, we don't say anything. We'll just leave it like that, you know?
It's true. It's 100% true. I think, it's easy to blame disabled people because we're the messenger, shoot the
Yeah.
messenger. And
Yeah.
I think they were hoping that people with disabilities didn't have the education to follow through with filing lawsuits too, or the understanding. And for a long time, a lot of people didn't, and it worked. But now there's social media. I don't think they counted on that.
Yeah. I think nobody counted that that would exist someday. We can record stuff, take picture, upload it, be like, oh, this place doesn't have accessibility, and everybody won't stop going.
Oh, yeah. No, the thing is, though, we are such a small group of people. So whenever we do actually, I mean, when we actually do start following through with the lawsuits, people will start seeing it. But if we just stop going to businesses, we don't make an impact. So
Right.
just withholding business does not work anymore. We actually need to start filing lawsuits.
Yeah.
And against the towns and the cities, I think that's where people should start so that they start paying attention to it because they won't open up businesses to that. Also, informing businesses that, hey, you need to get a hold of your town. You were approved outside of compliance.
hmm Yeah, totally. Hopefully they do someday. Hopefully we can change that someday.
I'm working on it. It's got thousands and thousands of views. I mean,
hmm
people approve.
Yeah. What do you want people to truly understand about disability in general, not just spinal cord injuries, not just muscular dystrophy?
That, we're only as strong as our weakest link. So if people see people as with disabilities as not deserving of certain things, in the grand scheme of things, it really is to the detriment of the whole of society. I want people to see the contribution that people with disabilities have. The idea is oftentimes when people with disabilities are brought into the discussion, they create things that benefit the whole of society. Many things that people rely on today were created, like Siri, were created
Mhm.
for people with disabilities, okay? Initially, Dragon was the old baddie that you had to pay a bunch of money for. So
Hmm.
people with disabilities, when we accommodate somebody with a disability, we're actually accommodating more than just those who are specifically need that. Oftentimes, wonderful things come from progress, from growth, from ideas from universal design. Universal design, everyone loves the push button. I see able-bodied people use the push button all the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see that. Or use the elevator.
Or use the elevator. The thing is, like, it's changing the narrative. And I want to see
Mhm.
that happen for people with disabilities.
Yeah, same here. Like a lot of in all the stereotypes, make more accessible places, everything accessible for us. Like
Yes,
every disability, not just mine, like future generations. Even if I don't get to see that, like hopefully I can make a change for the future generations and stuff.
yeah, it's true. I think that I really want nobody to struggle after me, you know.
Yeah, because there are so many years we've been struggling, but we have got us this far. We made a couple of changes over the years, decades and stuff.
It's true. I mean, and that's complacency. We've been very complacent. We've been told that we're bad people for filing lawsuits, so people don't file lawsuits because we're harming business. Well, you know what? Businesses, I can't care more than they do.
Right. They're harming us as well, because we can't get into like their establishment, and stuff
100%.
like, yeah, it's like, they're just trying to blame others for, their issues, their fault for not having accessibility and stuff.
100%. It's true. I know. So, I mean, it is what it is. And I hope that the future is bright and beautiful, for all of us. I'm very hopeful.
Yeah, same here. Well, Gina, thank you so much for sharing your story and truth. It was a great conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And anytime you need anything, I'm your girl. I'll do what I can.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate conversation like this matter, and I really appreciate you being part of Muscular Dystrophy Warrior.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being my first guest. Believe it or not, you're my first guest on my channel.
Ah, we're starting something good here. I
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah, because I was always creating stuff about my disability. I was like, my friend was like, why don't you have guests? Like, he's thinking I'm having guests as well, but he hasn't started it. I'm like, I'm getting ahead of it, you
I
know?
love it.
Yeah, I already sent a few other creators. You were like the first one to reply. The other ones, I'm still waiting for a reply.
All
So
right. Well, hopefully they get back to you.
if you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll end the video like I usually end. I don't know if you're a basketball fan or a sports fan.
Hmm, a little, not really.
You probably know who Kobe Bryant was, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, you remember like uh, the last game before he retired, you know how he said Mamba out?
No,
Yeah, yeah. I'm like MD Warrior out instead of,
I love it. Yes,
yeah,
you
instead,
are. You
yeah.
are.
You guys, you know how I end the video always? Like the great Kobe and late Kobe Bryant said on his retirement game, Mamba out. In my case, it's MD Warrior out. Until next time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Start Started from the struggle, now we speaking on it real. Turn the pain into power, now the whole world filled. Every bit, every word, man, I'm keeping it true. If you rocking with the journey, then I'm rocking with you. Came up from the days when they said I wouldn't last. Now I'm out here dropping stories, turning future from the past.